Mercedes has just unveiled the car that will bear the iconic number 44 for the last time. Fan reactions are a mixed bag, but the Mercedes team is embracing the change with positivity. Let's take a look into the responses, hearing directly from James Allison and the team principal Toto Wolff as they share their thoughts on bidding farewell to the legendary number 44. The anticipation is high and emotions are running wild. Let's see what the future holds for Mercedes. Mercedes has unveiled its new Formula One car, the W15, in hopes of reclaiming consistent victories in the upcoming season. The team, known as the Silver Arrows, faced challenges in the past 2 seasons, with the W13 and W14 cars not performing as well as rivals Red Bull. Despite making changes to the car last season, including abandoning the Radical Zero pod concept, Mercedes only secured 1 victory during that time. To improve its fortunes, significant changes have been made to the new W15, which was revealed in a digital launch event attended by team principal Toto Wolff and drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. The car's livery is mostly black, a design Mercedes has often used in recent years, with a silver front section. In his final season with Mercedes before joining Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton expressed confidence in the team's capabilities and gratitude for everyone's hard work. He acknowledged the team's determination and motivation for the upcoming year, emphasizing their collective effort. George Russell, reflecting on the previous season, noted progress in addressing challenging aspects of the W14. Despite improvements, he mentioned the car's limited operating range, making it difficult to drive outside those parameters. Russell highlighted the importance of expanding the car's operating range, as it would boost driver confidence and make it easier to improve lap times. Mercedes technical director James Allison has revealed that the team's new Formula One car, the W15, aims to provide its drivers with a more stable rear and improved straight line speed for the 2024 season. The unveiling at Silverstone showcased significant design changes, including a completely new chassis and various aerodynamic updates. The main focus of the redesign was addressing the challenges associated with the unpredictable behavior of the previous ground effect cars, which made drivers Lewis Hamilton and George Russell uncomfortable on occasion. Allison explained that efforts were concentrated on improving the rear axle, particularly during braking and turning into corners. The goal was to make the rear end of the car feel solid at the start of a corner, becoming progressively more agile and responsive as the car approached the apex. Overall, the aim was to create a more reassuring driving experience for the team's drivers. The improvements in the handling of the new Mercedes Formula One car, the W15, likely result from a combination of changes in aerodynamics and mechanics. Mercedes made adjustments to its rear suspension, opting for its version of a push-rod system in conjunction with a new gearbox design. Additionally, efforts were directed at enhancing the car's aerodynamic efficiency, particularly when using the drag reduction system, DRS, an area that drivers were dissatisfied with in the previous year. The team aimed to reduce drag, boost cornering performance, and address issues related to DRS and pit stop performance. Despite the introduction of a cost cap in F1, Mercedes recognized the necessity of investing in a new chassis and gearbox casing. James Allison acknowledged that while the cost cap encourages careful spending, they strategically prioritized certain significant projects, such as the new outer casing and chassis, without overspending on other aspects. This approach allowed them to undertake substantial improvements without exceeding budget constraints, aligning with their strategic allocation of resources. Toto Wolff, the team principal of Mercedes, has described the new Formula One car, the W15, as a complete relaunch, as the team aims to bounce back from 2 challenging seasons. Mercedes, the 8-time champion, has faced difficulties in keeping up with Red Bull under the new regulations introduced in 2022, so maybe this is the car to bring them back to glory. Let's see what Toto Wolff thinks. Wolff explained that the W15 is significantly different, not only in terms of aerodynamics, but also beneath the surface, with numerous mechanical changes. The team hopes these alterations will result in a more predictable car that drivers can push to its limits. The new design of the W15 marks a departure from Mercedes' previous zero sidepod philosophy, opting for an aerodynamic approach similar to Red Bull. This includes distinctive sidepods and a bodywork slope aimed at optimizing airflow and maximizing downforce through the underbody Venturi tunnels. The car's color scheme combines Mercedes' traditional racing silver with the black used in the previous 2 seasons. Toto Wolff emphasized that the team is keeping realistic expectations for the upcoming Formula One season. They aim to lead a group consisting of Ferrari, McLaren and Aston Martin, their main rivals from the previous year, and eventually close the gap with Red Bull. Wolff highlighted the importance of self-reflection, acknowledging areas where the team may have gone wrong in the past. He expressed confidence in the team's potential, citing a strong driver combination and the possibility of a fast car. Despite the challenge of catching up with a team like Red Bull, Wolff believes Mercedes has the right elements to return to the front of the grid. The 2024 season will be Lewis Hamilton's final year with Mercedes before his move to Ferrari in 2025. Hamilton, along with teammate George Russell, is focused on bringing the team back to its former success. Both drivers acknowledge the difficulties of the past years, but express determination and excitement for the upcoming season. Wolff outlined the team's targets, emphasizing the importance of a predictable and high downforce car. He aims to provide a vehicle that Hamilton and Russell enjoy driving, addressing previous issues of unpredictability and lack of rear grip. The initial testing of the new car is scheduled for a shakedown at Silverstone, and pre-season testing will take place in Bahrain on February 21st to 23rd, followed by the opening race on March 2nd in the Gulf state. The car features interesting sidepod inlets with a color scheme reminiscent of McLaren Mercedes from the late 90s and early 2000s. Opinions vary, with some praising the transition from silver to black on the nose, while others express reservations about the design. Fans discuss the unique inlet design and its contrast with other teams' choices. There's also anticipation for the upcoming season, with some supporters already switching allegiances or expressing excitement about new team alignments, especially with Lewis Hamilton moving to Ferrari in 2025. Overall, the reactions are mixed, touching on aspects like aerodynamics, color choices, and the anticipation of the car's performance in testing. I find the new technical elements on the W15 quite interesting, especially the front wing that loops under the nose. It's one of the boldest experiments we've seen in this generation of cars. I'm eager to see how effective it is and how rival teams will respond. The 3.1 element connection seems deliberate, suggesting that Mercedes expected it to be a topic of discussion with other teams and the FIA. The question arises, why reveal these innovations now during the launch instead of at Bahrain? Some speculate it gives Mercedes more time to adjust if the design faces potential bans. The FIA is known for restricting innovative features. There's a possibility that the FIA was aware of these elements during the design phase, similar to the DAS system. Racing Point's past troubles are brought up, where the FIA initially approved everything but later took issue. It's highlighted that teams routinely show their designs to the FIA, including previously banned elements like front wings and Aston Martin's rear wing. The FIA tends to allow designs unless other teams raise concerns. Aston Martin's rear wing was legal when they used it, only getting banned when the regulations changed the following year. Mercedes experimented with slot gap separators and other creative front wing interpretations that were initially allowed but faced tighter regulations in the following season. Delaying the reveal of a design could potentially prolong a ban if it occurs later. The FIA initially approved the design but reconsidered its size, ultimately permitting it for the 2023 season. Teams might not protest until the design is used in an official race, aiming to potentially disqualify Mercedes. However, it's unlikely for the FIA to disqualify a team for a part they initially approved. Official complaints can only be lodged during an official event. Teams often argue rule interpretations when controversial upgrades are run in actual races, as seen in the past. Historically, Mercedes tends to seek approval for borderline parts before or during development. In contrast, other teams may risk using such parts, take the consequences, and adapt if a ban occurs, as seen with Ferrari and Red Bull. I don't really see the similarities with Red Bull from last season, but maybe that's just me. It'll be interesting to see how Mercedes manage their drivers this season, especially with Hamilton leaving for Ferrari next year. Share your thoughts in the comments below.